Hey guys, this video is going to focus on CM Punk and his current WWE Championship run. And the question here is whether CM Punk will hold the championship for 1 year. Now, a lot of people are still questioning it. A lot of people are going with the fact that he's going to hold it for a year. You know, the way I see it is 50-50. 50% say he's going to hold it for a year, 50% say that he's not going to hold it for a year. My honest opinion is that he will hold it for a year. There's no doubt in my mind that Punk will hold this for a year. You know, at this point in time, it obviously would have made no sense to take the title off Punk with everything that's happened. Now, saying that, let's recap a little bit what's happening. I'm going to keep the recaps of Punk's matches and whatnot really short and sweet, so I don't have to really bore you guys to death, so I'm not going to really drag out my recaps. But let's wind the clock back a year to Survivor Series 2011, the day that Punk won the title from Alberto Del Rio. That came as a shock to me. I wasn't expecting Punk to win it. But at the time, I was happy. Good, CM Punk, his second WWE Championship run. And he won that title November 20th, 2011. And currently, right now, he's been holding it for 318 days. And I'm sure, why not? You know, I honestly wasn't expecting Punk to hold it for as long as he's holding it right now. Because if you think about it, right at the time where Punk won the title, the championship was pretty much like hot potato. Cena won it, then Del Rio won it. Then Cena won it again, then Del Rio won it again, then Punk won it again. So at the time, I was probably thinking, hey, you know what? He'll probably hold it until Mania, and then he'll probably lose it either at Extreme Rules or at Over the Limit. That was my mindset, you know, with the championship currently at that time. Like I said, it was hot potato. That's the way I saw it. But no, Punk actually held it more, and now let's get more into a little bit in depth of his matches. Then afterwards, he went on to TLC. Defended it against Del Rio and Miz in Triple Threat. Obviously, he was going to retain. You know, he just gave it to Punk. You know, he wouldn't lose it to either Miz or Del Rio that quickly. Punk, TLC, Triple Threat, he won. Afterwards, we're going to go down to the Rumble with him and Ziggler. No doubt that Punk was going to retain there as well. Really low standards if they're going to give it to Ziggler. After Rumble, we're going to the Elimination Chamber. There was no doubt that Punk was going to retain there. And that kind of gave a little build-up up to the WrestleMania match that he had against Jericho. Best in the world, best in the world. That was also a no-brainer that Punk was going to retain. You know, it was just a way of Jericho getting Punk over as a champion. Extreme Rules, we've gone to Extreme Rules now. That's where they had the Chicago Street Fight, Punk's hometown. There was a little doubt there that Jericho could have retained, not retained, won the championship. You know, him being a heel and he was like on the roll. You know, he could have won, but at the same time, it was kind of a no-brainer that Punk could have retained as well. If you think about it, from TLC all the way to all these pay-per-views that I'm going to name, it was a no-brainer that Punk was going to retain, in my opinion. So, from Extreme Rules, we've gone to Over the Limit, where he had the match against Daniel Bryan. I didn't see Bryan winning it. No doubt that Punk was going to retain as well. So, at that point in time, in my opinion, Punk's title run got a little bit stale, a little bit boring. You know, after his work with Jericho was done after Extreme Rules, I think he just got a little stale with the run. Then afterwards, from Over the Limit, I think we went on to No Way Out. Yeah, where he had the triple threat match with Kane and Bryan. I didn't see Kane winning it. I didn't see Bryan winning it either. So again, a no-brainer that Punk would have retained the title there. Then afterwards, we go on to Money in the Bank, where you could say that Bryan could have won the title because you had the whole thing going on with AJ, and AJ could have just snapped and screwed Punk out of nowhere. You could say that, you know, a lot of people are actually going for Bryan winning the title. But in this point in time, I didn't see Punk losing the title unless somebody catches Money in the Bank. So Punk won at Money in the Bank. He retained it against Bryan. What happens later on throughout the night? Cena wins the Money in the Bank. And that's when you start to have questions in your mind. Hey, you know what? Cena's winning. Cena just won the Money in the Bank. Could he possibly cash in on Punk? 2 nights later, or I think it was 1 night later, I'm not sure. Cena says, I'm going to cash this in at Raw 1000. And that's like, honestly, the way I saw it was, that was the first time that I said, oh, fuck it, Punk's losing the title. Unless, like, they do some crazy shit to have him retain, he's losing the title. I mean, it's Raw 1000. Cena's holding the Money in the Bank. And, you know, if they were going to close the show with a happy-ass ending, you know, it was Cena holding the championship at Raw 1000. So that's Punk's first defense that you thought Punk's fucked. And we go on to Raw 1000. What happens? CM Punk turns heel. And, well, he started to turn heel. The whole heel turn process started at Raw 1000. He retains the championship against Cena after Big Show DQ'd or whatever. Then we go on to SummerSlam. That's where he had the triple threat against Big Show and Cena. Again, another no-brainer that Punk was going to retain the championship. And then we go on to Night of Champions, where, again, your mindset was, holy shit, Punk could be fucked. But at the same time, because the rivalry was just starting, your mindset could have been as well, you know what, Punk will find a way to retain, and eventually he will start another match with Cena, Hell in a Cell, something like that. But now the champions in Raw 1000 were the first two title defenses that you were thinking, you know what, either Punk's going to retain or he's screwed. You know, Cena's the champion. And obviously, now the champions, great match, Punk retains. Now we go on to Hell in a Cell. Punk's still champion, like I said earlier, 318 days as champion. Hell in a Cell, what's going to happen there? Punk and Cena. And this is where I'm going to say why it's a no-brainer or it's going to be pointless to drop the title from Punk. Okay, so a Hell in a Cell, it's either going to be Punk and Cena or Punk and Ryback. If Punk and Ryback go at it at Hell in a Cell, Cena can't make it, it's going to be Punk who's going to retain. I don't see Ryback winning it. And then if Punk and Cena do go ahead, Punk's going to find another way to retain. Something's going to happen that Punk's going to retain the title. So then Hell in a Cell, that moves on. We go to Survivor Series. Survivor Series, it looks like the next possible match I can think of is Punk and Ryback. You know, they've been having little beef as of late. And, you know, after Hell in a Cell, if Punk and Cena goes down, Cena, you know, he might go and after sunset, you know, just to heal his arm or whatever. And what happens, we get Punk and Ryback. Punk and Ryback, Survivor Series, I wouldn't mind that. And, you know, like I said, if it happens to Hell in a Cell, or if it happens to Survivor Series, I don't see Ryback winning it. Boom, you have Punk retain. Then afterwards, Survivor Series, we go on to TLC. TLC, I don't know, you can either have a triple threat, Ryback and Cena against Punk, or you can have another rematch between Ryback and Punk. You know, tables match, ladders match, TLC, whatever you want, chairs match, whatever. Punk's going to retain. That's it. He will have to hold it for a year then. Then, finally, we go on to the Royal Rumble, where he would have to face the one and only Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and that's where I see Punk's title ending. That's where I see it go poof. That's where I see it's done, basically. You know, The Rock's going to win at the Rumble, and that's it for Punk's title reign. You know, he'll probably get a rematch at Elimination Chamber along with the other people at Elimination Chamber. But that's the way I see it. I see no doubt in my mind that Punk's going to hold this for a year. He's going to go into Hell in a Cell, beat Cena, beat Ryback, whoever. If he goes on to Cena, he'll go to Survivor Series, possibly fight Ryback, retain against Ryback. He'll go to TLC. He'll beat whoever at TLC. For that point, he already had it for a year. Then at the Rumble, which is the next big pay-per-view, what happens? Rock, Punk, that match, and then, you know, I don't see Punk really winning that one, and The Rock retains. Not retains. He wins the championship, and that's it for Punk's title reign. So, like I said, no doubt Punk's gonna hold this for a year, and, you know, hopefully, you can get something out of this, because if you're saying that he's not gonna hold this for a year, I don't know what's making you think that or something. I don't know what's making you think that he's not gonna hold it for a year. If you're listening to this video right now and you're thinking that he's not gonna hold it for a year, comment down below. Feel free to tell me why you believe he's not gonna hold it for a year. But yeah, guys, that's about it. Wow, 9 minutes. I hope I didn't bore you guys to death. But yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate if you stayed or just skipped through some parts of this video. I will see you soon, because I did promise a friend of mine that I would have done a video for him, which I'm going to do soon. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Hope it didn't bore you to death, and I will see you guys later. Peace.